As ladies, we know we have plenty of different makeup creams and so on. I took a picture of myself without makeup in the good light and just uploaded to ChatGPT and asked analyze my profile, my skin, and to analyze what I have, what products I have, what is suitable for me, what is not suitable for me. I asked to generate my picture with ready-made makeup and hairstyle. We have very powerful tool which is changing rapidly. No matter how we skeptical or afraid, you just need to give a go to try and see what's suitable for you.
Today's guest went from AI skeptic to building her own suite of custom ChatGPT assistants, and she's now teaching others to do the same. Vaida Stone is a solo entrepreneur who decided that turning 40 was the perfect time to lean into change, not away from it. She's used AI for everything from getting a personalised makeup lesson based on her own photo to building a fully automated business system from scratch. And her mantra is curiosity defeats fear. Practice creates skills and skills save time. Vaida, it's so lovely to have you. Welcome to How I Use AI.
Thank you very much for having me here. I really appreciate my honor to be here. And I'm smiling because how nicely you represented me, which is really true, that from curiosity to defeating fear, from makeup to automating my business system.
I love that. No, I think, if we start there, because your story, definitely the way that you kind of approached AI to start with is going to resonate with lots and lots of people, that kind of skepticism of AI at the start. But what was it that finally made you really give it a go? And what did it feel like when it actually worked?
To begin with, about skepticism, even being teacher, many years working at school, I used computers, whiteboards and everything, but I never treated myself as a technical person. And I have deep down that fear in me. If I press wrong button, it's just something explode. It's just like, then AI appeared and my business load started growing. I just was hearing from other people, oh, you need to use AI, you need to use AI. And I thought, okay, it sounds great, but I don't trust that, because now even you're talking with Alexa, or speaking with your friend, and suddenly the advert started to show you what you were talking. And I thought, oh my God, it's so suspicious. We are followed with no privacy. Yeah. So all this fear was growing. But the main reason was that I wanted to expand my business to save time, and I didn't have the choice anymore to cover myself under no fear or no trust, and I started looking how I can find and defeat that fear. So I found out, of course, AI Non-Techies, which is I'm grateful, and I joined the course and started exploring deeper and deeper what is what, how I can be protected, my data protected, because I understood that it depends on us how much information we're giving to AI. I made loads of mistakes, of course, in the beginning, but the main thing is that the turning point for me was I wanted to expand my message to share that globally. And I'm only one person in my business. How I can serve more people, save my time, and save my money, because I love saving money not only for myself, for others. So I was so curious that I tried, tested, and studied myself so much.
Oh, that's such a good insight into the way you came to it, because I think you talk to people, curiosity, which I know you must have had coming into it, but I think that skepticism has done you well, especially at the start of that journey. You've come into it with that understanding that you can't just pump everything into these tools on a free account. You know, you've come from the kind of the direction of those risks, those limitations. You know, what are these tools doing with our data? You've come in with that mindset to start with, which I think is really powerful when you start not only being able to build for yourself, but like you say, be able to advise on and encourage other people to use it. If we lean in a little bit to adapting to change. And I think, again, your journey coming through and finding a source like AI for non-techies, but like a community or a place of learning in that way to be able to help guide you. But you've spoken about it being after 40, adapting to change especially after 40. Why do you think so many people in that stage of life might potentially resist AI or definitely, find it more difficult to kind of adapt to that change? And what would you say to them?
It's a great question and deep question. And because I'm more than 40 and I'm facing the first-hand changes in our body, in our memory, and especially women, then we're going for premenopause or menopause, many things in concentration is changing. And our physiology and our psychology is changing. From another hand, who working at companies, having a job, or even self-employed, in midlife, we're facing that we are not capable to compete with young people because young people quickly adapting, trying, they don't afraid so much to make mistakes, where that in a midlife, I think we just seriously afraid to make mistake or try something new sometimes, not everyone, of course, but that's our responsibility, our experience and physical change in our body and mindset. It's sometimes stopping us, and we thinking like one lady over 60, she said, oh, Vaida, I'm too silly, I'm too old, I don't understand anything. You see, in these 3 words, how much fear, discomfort, and untrust it's in all the people in our thinking. From another lady heard, I already retired, so why I need that AI? Why I'm going to use? So as one perspective. Another lady opposite, she said, I would like to make my life more easier, and I'm not going so much out. So I would like to explore more what I can do with AI. You see, I notice different perspectives in people talking with them, why they don't try, or if they want to try, if they would like to try that some tools, or to understand what does it mean, because sometimes they even don't know what does it mean AI. There are some still particular people who don't see the need, and they're not curious about them. So if it makes sense what I just explained, it's like psychology changing, competition at work, it's everything here. And myself, I can feel that, firsthand, I should say.
Yeah. No, I think it's something that keeps coming up, especially in definitely some of the communities that I'm in. There is this feeling of fear. Yeah, I guess when you get to a certain point in your career, and that probably being sort of like you say, your 40s, 50s, 60s, where you've got yourself to a senior position, a position where you are leading teams or setting strategy or running ops, and not maybe doing so much of the doing, but doing more of the thinking or the strategic piece. I think definitely something that I have noticed, and something that kind of builds on what you were saying, is this idea that people are leading teams potentially of people that know more about AI or know how, or are using AI more so within their role. And actually as a leader or somebody or a head of or somebody in that position, I can imagine that feeling of trying to have to keep up whilst also still leading on the strategy, and not having maybe the same sort of space to be able to play or experiment or to build it within the role because you're not doing the doing. And instead, maybe feeling that kind of, you're sort of looking over your shoulder, or that fear of not knowing as much as you should know, leading a department or a team that know more than you do about AI.
What you're trying to point, and it is very, very important, because then you expanding or working in company for several years, and new generations they're coming with the new skills, and you need to be so brave and curious and open to go with the flow and implement these new strategies. At the same time, it could be threatening, it could be overwhelming, because so much information, so many tools, and you need to find what is suitable for you, for your company, based on the size or people working or even business type and so on. It's long lists here as well. But from my own perspective as a woman in business, I think AI helped me as a strategy assistant, because I, for example, doing strategies, and I asking act as a expert strategist ChatGPT and evaluate my strategy, show me my blind spots, because I know the direction where I want to go, like with the car, but I can't not see my blind spots. And I asking, okay, what I could improve for myself, what I should learn, and if I have team, what I could delegate for other people, or find the not complicated tool which helps me to accomplish this task. That's how I'm playing now with AI, ChatGPT or Claude, is no matter what you prefer. So, and sometimes surprisingly, from our sentences, what we're saying or what we're not saying, they just extracting, surprising facts and giving you the plan. And after that, you're just playing. Would you like to expand that topic, or would you like to save time, or you can listen something and ask what tools to use, where to get summarizing, or listen like from note takers or Perplexity, give this data. So it's just like opening, you as a leader, saving a lot of time and giving you direction.
I think that's really definitely the way of reframing it, of making it feel like something that doesn't have to be conquered, or you don't have to know everything about it, but using it as that assistant and that kind of partner for you within that strategic role, I think is a really great way of reframing that, or challenging that fear, that overwhelm. Really cool. Okay, so let's go back, because I'm really excited. When I was reading through all the experience that you've had in your kind of journey in the makeup experiment, if you talk me through, but you uploaded your photo and you got I need you to tell me how to do this, a full makeup lesson out of it. Could you walk us through that sort of use case? That would be amazing.
It was very fun. As I mentioned before, I will repeat. I love saving money for myself and others. And of course, I'm curious and experimenting. So as ladies, we know, we have plenty of different makeup creams and so on. So I took the pictures, what I have, and I took a picture of myself without makeup in the good light, and just uploaded to ChatGPT and asked, analyze my profile, my skin and everything, and then to analyze what I have, what products I have, what colors I have, what is suitable for me, what is not suitable for me. And I asked to generate my picture with ready-made makeup and hairstyle, because I asked many questions in specific. I used to have a grayish or platinum hair, so I wanted to refresh my look, and I turned 50, so I said, could you help me? So that was a very nice and fun experiment.
I love that. And did you take up the tips? Did it make sense?
Yes.
What it gave back?
Definitely, it makes sense. And I get rid of some what's not suitable for me. And we have the sense, ladies, we have a sense what is suitable, what not. Depends what is our style. But for example, that makeup, okay. I even took that makeup lesson from ChatGPT. It was doing writing me the steps, and I was doing makeup myself, taking the picture, uploading again. It is correct what I can improve, what went well. So, and I was getting evaluation of my lessons, how I implemented. So it's great. I probably could following the ChatGPT instructions, put a video on YouTube how I was doing.
Yes. I mean, think of the social content. You'd be like, and I came up with this step by step. I love the idea though that you didn't just take the first answer, right? You didn't just go, right, this is my face. What can you recommend? I love that feeding back in. Is this right? Is there something that you're missing, or like you say, that validation in that piece? But actually, again, it's that kind of that conversational piece and that feeding, that instant feedback. I think making that result better, really cool, and saving money, which is a plus. That kind of piece of it being something that you do for yourself, not so, because we talk so much about using AI at work and within our work streams and within our business. It's so nice to have a relatable use case, something that somebody listening to this could go, actually, that's a really good idea. I hadn't thought about using it in that way. And playing with it and learning through play. So building a landing page, you connected it to SendPulse. Is this right?
Yes.
And created an automated email campaign as a solo founder. So you did that whole build and setup. I mean, talk us through that, because that's quite a jump, isn't it? Into, you taking on that as a job.
From being completely not technical or AI creature, let's say, and didn't have a clue what does it mean, Python. I thought that is only snake. I'm very proud what I did.
That's brilliant. Yeah. Yes.
So, as I said, I wanted to save as much time as I can and automate my process as a solo business. Everyone talking about this magnet leads, automation, but how to do in the simple process, and so many tools as well. So again, my stuff was, because I started learning the AI, my stuff was to ask ChatGPT and analyze what tools I already have, what I'm using, and how to put in the system. Because then I started and discovered what AI can do. I just was, absorbing this information so much. And I'm tested multiple different tools. And to be honest, I felt overwhelmed a bit and lost, which is better. But what I always know, put back myself to ask to systemize, give the structure. So I make a plan and list at what tools I have and how I can connect. So I knew how to use SendPulse a little bit before, but I was struggling to connect how to automate this process of my magnet lead. I had my workbook and I had the SendPulse. I had a Make.com, Calendly.com. So many different tools. So which is the better? I tried not makeup, sorry. Make.com. It was so a little bit too big for me, too complicated. So I came back just with the simple ones, landing page and SendPulse. And I just step by step, following instruction, listening some YouTube videos, looking at instructions from ChatGPT, I started building. The first one took me 1.5 days. I was now sitting, doing and redoing because AI is not perfect. It looks like it's everything easy till you not starting implement. Then I started to implement, and I'm not a technical person. I was saying me to connect that and that, or in the left side you will see that written these words. I can't see. I'm asking, okay, I'm making a screenshot. That's my step is now like that. Where I need to go next from that stage. So ChatGPT analyzing my step, what they can see on the screen, and then, okay, you do that and that. again, I'm doing the small bit of piece and following next step. So it was quite long journey the first time, but you need to see me. Then I finished and it was working from landing page, clicking my workbox, going to sample, sending a welcome letter, and after that sending your ebook. I was dancing my silly dance at home. Believe me, I was so happy. So it was big lesson. Now I can create landing page and connect everything just in 1 hour. It depends what structure is. So we need to try, need to test, of course, and don't give up. Like my feedback from my assistant is coming that you did well, you didn't give up. Most of the people are, stopping in this stage. So sometimes even these general sentences is uplifting you, because it is not easy for a non-technical person, but it's possible. If I answer your question.
Yeah, that was, oh my goodness. The systems person in me just wants to actually see it. I want to sit and I want to click and I want to play. I think you're so right though, because AI releases such a fast output and we're so used to that kind of quick response. Sometimes you can paper over the fact that actually putting that piece of work in, that day and a half that it's cost you as a business owner to really get your head around that system, to now only need an hour, like you said, to be able to set this up. Now you've done that learning, you've done that testing. I mean, the fact that you identified that make.com wasn't necessarily the tool that was going to fit your purpose. You could have spent 2-3 days working on that and getting down to how you build that kind of that automation piece out through Make. But actually you've gone, no. Again, business head on, that's not necessarily needed for this moment. Mm. And you streamlined it back. And then you, like you said, you built on that. And I think there's such power in that. There's definitely from somebody who's an expert in what they do. You're an expert in your business. That's so powerful to know when to put that time in to learn and when to go, no. It's maybe shiny and it may be really exciting, but I don't need to go down that path.
And also I would like to add the thing that I love to ask ChatGPT, do evaluation of my time, how much hours I was working, and how much money I saved instead of hiring another person. So this is as a business owner, I think it is worthy to know your time, your value, how much you save money, because I always doing research how much I need to pay for the person who is able to do that. But my curiosity is always winning at the moment, because I have that luxury time to experiment with AI. But next time I just simply know that, okay, I did great, I learned that, and I can teach now others how to do that. For example, like being many years teacher, I know how to make the PowerPoint presentation, and I knew exactly how long and boring it is, and letters and everything. And now I'm so happy that I have this Gamma AI, and just creating my content and asking to generate the slides. It is just like this one. And I thought, wow. Sit and relax and look all your branding colors you're putting here, your style, everything you're just tweaking after that. And it's amazing how much time you can save and create landing page. And it's just biggest discovery.
Oh my God, yes. We're massive fans of Gamma as well. And actually, again, that tapping into your teaching career, you've lived firsthand of how long these things take to create, and or potentially the cost of bringing people in to help you create those products. So for you to be able to kind of sit back and watch that happen that's pretty exciting.
I just asked before our meeting, quickly act as a data extractor of ChatGPT and evaluate my more than 2 years journey, how I grow. and how many tools I was testing. So, and I was really surprised know how many tools I'm using actively, how many tools I tested. And I was provided even my path in the 5 stages, how I come from that confusing, overwhelming, or skeptical to somebody who is teaching about AI or creating custom ChatGPTs, automating person. So
that's mad. It must be really, it must be really strange to see it. Oh, again, that you must share that with me. I think that's a really good way of, because we feed it so much as well. So to get that kind of overview would be like, well, yeah, just brilliant. If we go more into, because you mentioned about your custom GPTs, and I'd love to know more about that team that you've created, of writing buddy, accountability buddy, a strategist. Can you introduce me to them? Talk me through them. Talk me through your dream team.
I call them buddies, my friends, my team, to be honest, because, again, save time and money. And people who don't know, we need to create specific tool for one particular reason. For example, if I would like to create my content, I need to put my personality, my voice, the words I'm using. So, and I started to create for some particular task custom ChatGPTs. So it is for example, LinkedIn post writing or accountability buddy, which is very useful for me and even my clients. It is adapted for the client, of course, but what it's doing, accountability and strategy buddy, I'm using to achieve my personal goals. And it is about my health, for example, even doing some exercises and getting increasing my, for example, visibility. It could be like looking at the speaking gigs. So, and I created my goal, how much I would like to earn, how many speaking gigs I would like to get, and how much weight I would like to lose, for example. And based on my specific requirements, based on my specific tasks, I asked daily in the morning, for example, I have 5 minutes putting quickly what is my energy level. First of all, it's asking me every morning now, and then providing me 3 tasks what I need to do today, my priorities. And in the evening, I quickly putting what I done or I haven't done. But what I love about this, my experiment is not perfect at all, but that, for example, if I'm saying today my energy level is 6 out of 10, so then my tasks for day is adapted. Okay, so then it's telling me today, Vaida, you need to more relax and slow down, and instead of the 3 tasks, do at least 1. So this is my accountability, and also looking at my my personal emotional state. That's what is one of my requirements, because I don't want to face burnout. And I'm specifically asking, look about that balance. I want to earn my million one day, but I don't want to burn out. So help me.
Yeah. I think, God, there's so much in what you've just said, like that reflection piece. I mean, how often do we give ourselves grace to reflect on how we're feeling in that moment, way before you hit that burnout stage? Or do you know what? I'm just knackered. Why am I knackered? Well, you can look back over all this data that you've been tracking and use AI to actually analyze it and to notice those patterns that maybe one, you wouldn't see yourself because you're in the moment and you're feeling the feelings in that moment, but also actually being able to, for it then to create tasks or reduce those tasks or be really intuitive to how you're feeling and getting the best out of to still knowing your goals. I mean, that's massive. Like, I think, not to go back to the piece about, women over 40 or 50 or 60, and that kind of, things feel different, moods feel different, situations feel different. You sort of start to question yourself, or maybe have some confidence issues, or you just have a day where you just aren't feeling right. And for you to be able to use that as a consistent tracker is really quite powerful. Like, I can imagine it being incredibly powerful for your clients.
Yeah. As for me, it's very important to find that balance. And like in my program, connect that mind, heart, and money, which is find that harmony in life. As honestly, and I faced many years ago that burnout, and I know how it is difficult to get back from there. It is a very uncomfortable place to be, and it's not, you're not healing so quickly. So you need to look after yourself so much, and especially then premenopause, menopause starting, women need to take more care and be more soft. We cannot just be like money-making machines anymore, or holding on our shoulders all responsibility of families or business. So that's why I'm taking that very seriously for myself and my clients, to use AI as a tool, as a helper, to see where you are. And I'm so happy about another tool like Letterly, which I'm using as well, the recording how I'm feeling, why I haven't done all my tasks, or if I start to feel guilty that, okay, I was planning to do, this, and this, and I haven't done. And I just talking randomly what I was doing during the day, and how I'm feeling, and why I feel not so bad or guilty that I not accomplished, and asking after that my accountability buddy to summarize what I said and extract what actually I'm feeling, why this happened. And in many times I am surprised myself how accurate it is. And so I love that you can speak with AI. And if it displays here, I would like to say another important thing about AI. People don't speak about the problem that loneliness, it is so increasing nowadays. And we have so many lonely people, single people, no matter which age they are. And sometimes AI tool, it is really helping, not solving problem, but helping to speak how they feel and what problem they're facing. It's never replaced that real human touch as a therapist, but they are so listening buddy. So in my team of buddies, I have 7 of them. So it could be, like listening, or I'm writing my second book now. And so my all ideas are just dumping into Letterly, and then after that, structurizing. And believe me or not, I think every person can now use it as a diary and then turn into a book, their experience. Who knows? It depends what people looking. But that's what I noticed, and I believe, and I tested myself, especially when I was down and didn't want to speak with some people or spoil their mood. One more real fact from my personal life, if I may share here, how AI not save my life, but help to diagnose the disease, which half of the age nobody told me, which was quite serious. Then I appeared in the hospital. I was doctors did me ECG for my heart work, and I just took picture and put on the ChatGPT and asked to analyze, because I just wanted to know what to ask doctors. And I'm in shock till the date how accurate it was. And then I asked doctor he said, yeah, you have such problem. Nobody told you before. I said, no. I said, I just asked my, assistant now. I'm laughing about that, but it was so surprisingly shocked in a good way. But I never knew that I had that problem with my heart. And the doctors confirmed, and thanks God, I have the treatment, what I needed. And so, you see, I cannot be anymore skeptical,
No,
even I want to.
it
It is too serious and too broad and too powerful.
Well, and I think this is what's so important. I think this is why these conversations are so important, is that, and I go back to my original point, right, of you being a skeptic and you coming from a place of skepticism, but interestingly from like that risk, that kind of like that tracking, what is this tool to somebody that is using it in a way to have those conversations and to discover those parts about you and to support you in really difficult situations, but also then in goal setting. That kind of just fluid use of AI is incredible. There's so much power in that. And thank you so much for sharing that, because that is really quite remarkable that it was able to support you and to be able to uncover that for you as well. And to arm you with those sorts of conversations with the doctor, with consultants, I think that's what it holds as well, is that knowledge bank of you not feeling like you're going to ask a stupid question. Not that any question is stupid, but in that moment when you're feeling most vulnerable, being able to be armed with that kind of toolkit holds a lot of power for a person, I think.
Of course, because we want to know the answers and be sure that you are looked after, especially in the hospital. And thanks God that we can have that access to information. But there is, of course, thing to remember that we cannot trust 100% of what AI saying. We know that it's hallucinating and all information is come there, but still you have some guidance. And like in that particular situation, I knew what to ask, and because it was written, and I never heard about that. So we have very powerful tool which is changing rapidly, and it's only one way. We just need to be curious, and we need to defeat our fear and start using now, because I don't believe this myth that AI will replace every person. It's only if you are not going to, or we're not going to implement daily, no matter how we skeptical or afraid. You just need to give a go, to try and see what's suitable for you.
No, that's good. Really interesting. Before we wrap up, because I'm really keen to talk about what you're doing with your clients. But correct me if I don't have the right information. So you're known as, you told me before we started recording, you're known as the money gardener. Is this linked in? Do you link AI into this? If you just give us like a whistle stop tour of what you offer for your clients, I'm sure there are people out there that are listening to this that would love to know a bit more about that, and also other ways to reach you and to work with you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very complicated to explain to my clients what I'm doing, because I'm financial clarity coach, holistic coach, and art and flowers therapy practitioner, writer, and AI trainer. So you see, colorful like a flower. So it was very complicated for me how I can position myself, how I can explain in simple words. And of course, I was brainstorming a lot with AI to explaining what I'm doing. And I was not happy about his answer. So many times I said, no, okay, financial clarity. No, I'm not only about money, because I am looking at the whole as a person, about the mindset, about heart. It's mean value you, and the money. How you can create that harmony, avoid that burnout, and be successful and rich. So which was the goal for me. So this money gardener is my like nickname in short, and then people, oh, what is a money gardener doing? Of course, just growing money on the tree, but in logical way. So, and I helping people with personal finance management, especially after midlife, or after some life challenges, immigration, or if you're facing divorce. And these all tools, what I'm using, AI tools, like art therapy for self-healing, or flowers therapy for meditation. It's part of my program, Always Enough. This is my core of the coaching, how to connect mind, heart, and money through the money gardening symbolism, because minds is like our root, heart is our like core, as our values, and money is our material world and our fruit and branches. And I helping people to connect all these three parts and have these branches and blossom that they bloom during my program. And every person is specific. It is personal tailored program, and that's why AI is excellent tool and helper assistant to strategize personal journey for specific person. So, of course, with all the data protection and everything, I have more than 20 years in education. I'm a former protection advisor. So I creating that path to my clients using different tools, because it in short, if money will be just math, everyone will be rich today, because you're doing the math, you're adding the numbers, and that's it. Why is not happening? Why is we still have this gap between mega rich and very poor people? So some parts are missed, and I'm trying to help people to understand what part is missed in your money garden.
Oh my God, that's just wonderful. I love that. I love that. A bouquet, a finished bouquet with a bow at the end of this. It has been just, I mean, your warmth and your energy is just wonderful. And I honestly think people listening to this, there'll be lots of people listening to this that maybe are dabbling. They may be past the skeptic stage, but not sure where to go next. And knowing that there are other people out there that are on that same journey, that are playing and experimenting and using these tools in the way that you've explained, I think will be really powerful for a lot of people listening. So thank you so much, Vaida. It's been absolutely wonderful talking to you today. So yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much for inviting you. And as my gratitude, I would like to provide free gifts, if I may, because I have a free AI without fear gift for Midlife. You can find on my LinkedIn or my Facebook personal page. And if you would like to start holistic money journey towards emotional and financial well-being, there's my Always Enough guide for free as well on my LinkedIn profile.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is so good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was an honor to be your guest. Thank you.